Hi, this is Sherry. I am coming at you for Angel's Whisper, and I'm at my little house on my patio. I was gonna go out on the lake, but I thought I might dunk my cards into the lake, so I thought I would just use the little sanctuary that I have here of my own. It's kind of nice in here. I've got the wind chimes going, and we'll get our animal totems in here as well. So I wanted to let you know that straight up front, you may have noticed my last name has changed. My name is now Lation, and I wrote on my page what this is regarding, but if you don't follow that, I'll tell you here so there's no confusion. I was born Sherry Standel, but I was adopted when I was 7, and I don't resonate with the name Standel, but it became very important to me. Apparent. I was getting a lot of messages. I've been thinking about it for about a year now. That I've been holding on to the name Columbus, which was my son's father's name, because I wanted to have a name that resonated with my family. But I kept getting from Spirit, the time has come to clear your energy, and I didn't understand what they were talking about. And they kept saying, the time has come to clear the energy from your ex. And I thought, I don't hold on to anybody. And you know, I have cleared my energy. There are no ex people in my life that I'm energetically connected to that I was aware of. Funny that I didn't pick up on it, but I had a friend do a numerology reading for me, and he asked my birth name, and I said, well, I was adopted, and I gave him my birth name, and he says, wow, this is really who you are. And I asked him to do the numerology reading with the name that I carry now, and he says, no wonder you're having challenges. There's something in a name, definitely. You should look up the meaning of your name and what your destiny path and your soul path. My life path is 6. That won't change because that's my first name. But your last name changes your destiny path and your soul's path. And it really does make a difference. It changes the energy of the direction of your life. And we found that when I was adopted, it drastically changed who I was and the direction that my life took. And it really, really did, because the person that I was with my maiden name is more the person who I am now. A free spirit. I lived in the forest, you know, and then, like I said, I was adopted, and I became a part of a very strict religious family, and my life path became one of serving. And now serving isn't wrong, but it was all about giving and not getting anything back. And there was a lot of energy that went with the name. So it came to me when I was in Sedona a year ago, and I considered at the time changing my name to Standel, which was my birth name, but it didn't feel right. You know, I haven't written that name since I was 7, and it just, I don't know, my birth father abandoned me. You know, I didn't meet him till I was 18 again, and so that has a negative feeling, and it's kind of left me with a lot of work and a lot of issues because of that. So that it never resonated with me. But the name that did resonate with me was Lation, which was my mother's maiden name, and my grandmother who raised me. My grandmother pretty much raised me when I was little. And I've always resonated with the name Lation. And I've said that for years. I should have just taken Mom's name. I should have just taken Graham's name, I said to my kids. And they said, why didn't you? And I don't know. I got married, and I took my husband's name, and then I just kept it because of my son. And anyway, it just has been rolling around and around in my head. So I took the name, and I put it up on Facebook last week, several days ago, not last week, and as Sherry Standel. And I was considering it, and it wasn't right. And we did the numerology reading with my name Lation, and then it didn't change. So the same life and destiny and soul paths remained the same whether I was Lation or Standel. Both names resonated well with me. So worked well with me numerically. So because I resonated well with Lation, and my grandmother's passed, my mother's passed, and I had no connection to any other name, I thought, I need to be who I am. I don't even know who I am. I've had so many names. So I chose to legally change my name to Lation. And when I did so, somebody asked me what it meant. And so I started to do research. Funny that I didn't do the research before. And when I do so much research normally, I've been getting from Spirit, what's been coming to me is Las Vegas. Again and again, Las Vegas, Las Vegas. And I didn't know why I was being shown Las Vegas. And I've had the name Anasazi come to me, Anasazi, and I asked my twin soul, well, does that mean anything to us? And he said, yes, that's the ancient ones. They're coming to teach you. Listen to them. And so My phone's getting hot. I'm going to have to hold it up here, sorry, out of the sun. That's kind of weird, but I can feel that it's going to get hot. When it gets overheated, it stops working, so that's not going to work for us. So anyway, the Anasazi, and they are a Native American. They're the ancient ones. And Native Americans have been coming to me in my dreams. My guides have been coming to me and showing me new gifts that are going to be coming and opening for me. And I've seen one of my Native American guides. Previously, I physically, with my eyes, saw her. It's an older woman. She's one of my guides. But this one that's been coming to me in my dreams and my visions is a very large, very handsome Native American man. And he wears a big silver disc on his chest. And he's talking about something, and he wants me to sing, which means sing out is my gift. So it's a new gift that was going to be coming to me. So I've got this swirling around, and I've been having dream after dream, and the Native Americans are appearing in my dreams. So I decided when I looked up Lation, I went to see what it meant, and it means Little John. And I laughed because I grew up in the forest. Little John, you know, Robin Hood. But Little John is also, so I looked up what does John mean, and it's actually a derivative of Jacob, which is connected to my twin soul. So I thought that's really interesting. And then I looked up the word I looked up Las Vegas, and because I wanted to know why did they keep bringing me to Las Vegas. And when I did that, I found that the Anasazi settled in Las Vegas. That's where they originated, was Las Vegas. But at the time, Las Vegas means the meadows. My name Sherry means the meadows. And in my dreams, I was told I was going to Vegas. Basically, what they were showing me is I'm going back to me. I'm being brought back to who I really am. And since I did that, it's interesting because I was told that as soon as I did that, I would notice a shift. We're getting two totems right now. I want to show you right now. We've got a vulture, California condor right there. And then fluttering about this tree here, if it comes back, it's an orange butterfly. So let's remember that for later. So anyway, told you we'd get totems here. I think I'm going to move my chair into the shade a little bit because I really worry that my phone's going to disconnect. Let me see my little sanctuary here. This is my little pad. Oh, that's better. Not to mention it's not so hot. Anyway, I can still see my totems that come. So what do we have? We have the Anasazi that settled in Las Vegas, which is where they told me I was going. And maybe I'll take my sunglasses off so you can actually see my eyes. I always feel so rude talking to you guys with my glasses on. Okay. Well, I'll put them on when I need them. I don't need them yet. Okay. So the Anasazi settled in Las Vegas. Then the meaning of the word Las Vegas means white meadow. The meaning of my name Sherry means meadow, the meadows. Lation means Little John, which is a derivative of Jacob, which connects me to my twin soul. So all of the names, what they were showing me is basically I'm coming back to who I am. And so when that happened, I was told that once you do make this shift, once you do make this change, you're going to notice things coming. And I have. As soon as I changed my name, I started dreaming much more heavily, and the Native American guides have been coming to me. And so I know that my gifts are opening. I was told on the wind, somebody is going like this, keeping their hands like shh. But winds of change are blowing in my direction. And so last night in my dreams, I saw a ceremony taking place, and it was in a field. It was in a plains, actually. It was in a meadow. Just clicked in my head just now. It was in a meadow. So I was clearly being maybe either guided back to a past life, but they're definitely connecting with me, the Anasazi. And so here we were in a meadows, and I saw my Native American guide, that very handsome, tall man that was there speaking to me already. He was there to my left, and my twin soul was to my right. And the Native American guide, he was Cherokee, and he was calling a Cherokee call into the wind. And he was, you know, the yell, and he yelled into the wind. And it's funny because in the dream I said something was going on, something was happening, but I didn't know yet what it was, so I guess that's going to come to me. But my twin soul was standing to my right, and he also went into the wind, but he whistled into the wind. And it was the call as well, but he didn't yell it. He whistled it onto the wind, and it was carried across and came back to me. So, that's going to mean something. I'm not sure. I'm just sharing that with you because I think it's fascinating that as soon as I changed my name, as I was told, the blocks would be removed and shifts would happen. So Right now on Facebook, if you follow me on Facebook, what used to be Sherry Columbus, Angels Whisper, and Angels Whisper Sherry Columbus. Well, like I said, when I put my name up as Sherry Standal to try it out, it just didn't feel right. But Facebook locked me into it for 2 months. So I legally have changed my name to Sherry Lation. And Sherry Lynn Lation. And I love it. It's musical. It's Welsh. It's totally who I am. It resonates really, really well with me. I've always thought it was very pretty. It connects me back to my mother and my grandmother who raised me. People say, well, aren't you going to take your father's name on? And another person on my page, he's a numerologist, he said to me, only your birth name will resonate. All others are a masquerade. And I heard in my head immediately that I wasn't going to argue with him. And the thing is, it's not a masquerade for me, because my father gave me birth, gave me life, but so did my mother. And my father wasn't there. He didn't raise me. My mother and my grandmother raised me. And the last name of that family was Lation. And the Welsh connection that I have, as far as my spirituality in the forest and everything that I've done in my entire life, is connected to the Welsh. And that's the name Lation. So that is the name I've chosen. I resonate with it. I feel it works well with me. I was guided to do it, and I did it, and I'm pleased. So unfortunately, right now, it says on Facebook, Sherry Columbus, and in brackets it says Lation. On my Angels Whisper page, my work page, it does say Sherry Lation, and my website also says Sherry Lation. So that is who I am. And I don't think even if I marry, I will change my name. I will keep that because my daughter said to me when she got married, I'm not changing my name. It's who I am. You know, I love my husband, but I'm keeping my name. It's who I am. And I thought, you know, smart girl. A lot of people, when women's lib came about and women weren't changing their name and they weren't taking on the name of the man, men thought, you know, it was women's lib and they were being not in subjection or whatever. I don't believe a woman should be in subjection to anyone anyway. But it's not about women's lib. It's about being who you really are and truly who you are. So it was my choice. It doesn't mean it has to be your choice. It's just what I've done. So today, what I'm going to do is we're going to be reading from, our reading is going to be taken from Shadow of the Oracles. Why do I want to ever say this? The Oracle of the Shadows and Light. It was, I've been doing readings today with people, and it just keeps coming. So it's very important that this deck be used. So the cards have already been chosen because they literally flew out of the deck, and I asked again and again, and I was told again and again, yes, these are the cards to be used. So the first message that we get, I'll show you, is the Sea Beacon Fairy. I hope you can see this. 3. The number 3 means completion. And here we see this girl, and she's on the sea, and she's holding a lantern. She's got a lantern from her cape, which is interesting to me. This cape is a bat cape, which makes me immediately think of vampire. And she's got a light here. And the message below says guidance, but where will it lead you? So what the message is with this card is that you are being given a light. You're being guided by a light. But her message is, am I guiding you towards safe harbor? Here's the boat. I don't know if you can see the boat going out to sea. Is this light guiding this boat to safe harbor? Or is this light guiding to the rocks, where it will cause you to perish? And she's saying, you know, I can understand why this would be not, you would think this isn't fair. You know, that's not fair that you're giving me, you know, which way do I go? I'm trying to follow my guidance. And if my guidance is leading me to the rocks, why don't you just tell me that? So basically what they're saying is, what they're speaking about is, I'm going to have to look and see if I can see more. Here I am with my little owl glasses. Ooh, that's a message, owl. The owl talks about seeing past the illusion. The owl is able to see secrets, hear secrets, and when people are not telling the truth, they're able to see through that. They're able to see through masks. So it's asking you to take a look at what's going on in your life and see through to the truth of the matter. Are you perhaps fooling yourself or lying to yourself, or somebody else trying to fool you or give you a message that isn't true? So here we have this Sea Beacon Fairy, and there's a choice basically in your life, and it's up to you right now. There's a choice that you have to make, and so what you need to decide is am I going in the right direction? Is the guidance that I'm getting, the guidance that I'm hearing, and the guidance that I'm seeing, is it leading me somewhere safe, or is it leading me somewhere to my peril? Or is it talking about, are you so eager to avoid a challenge that you might be in your way that you'll jump on the first light that comes to you to guide you? And only you can figure out which is best for you. And so what it's saying is, when this message comes forward, is that they're saying that a perfect solution to a problem is presenting itself to you, or will or is presenting itself to you. And It's up to you whether you take it. And it's also for you to decide whether it's wise for you to take it. What they're saying is that there may be more resources, there may be more opportunities to come to you. So there's a couple different messages, right? It's either pay attention to where you're going, is it leading you in the right way, or that they're going to be giving you, someone's going to be giving you an offer or a way out through a problem. And you're struggling in this problem. And so instead of struggling with this problem, are you going to jump at the first opportunity because you don't want to deal with the challenge? Or is there maybe possibly a better way for you to go? They're saying you may have resources available to you, more opportunities coming to you than you're aware of. So they're saying don't be too quick to follow this advice that you get or jump on this offer that's coming to you. They want you to check both your inner sources and your inner, like your wisdom, your inner wisdom, your intellect, along with your intellect, they want you to check in here. So what's resonating not only with your head but with your heart. And what's interesting is when I told you I was doing these readings today, and these cards kept coming out, and it was interesting because I spoke about something and the card flipped up, the book opened up, I spread again and asked, and I got it again 3 different times. So clearly the message was one that I was supposed to speak about. And I in my head I said, wow, am I being led in the wrong direction, even though I think I'm going in the right direction? And I immediately assumed something in my head. And yet what they're trying to, and I skipped over this, I didn't realize what I'd already gotten the guidance from this message first, that there was a possibility that I was going to jump at that and assume that that's what it meant, when something else actually, it meant something else. I hope I'm not confusing you here. So basically what they're saying is, don't be too quick to react, don't be too quick to make a choice. Don't feel that you're locked into just this one position, because you may have more opportunities, you might have more resources, you may not, you may feel that when you first look at it, this is the only way that I can go, this is what I have to do. But they're saying that's not true, that there may be other opportunities and there may be other resources available to you. So that's that first message. I feel like I've lost a card here somewhere. I thought I had more than the cards that are showing up here. I know that I do and I can't find them. Interesting. Okay, because the next message, maybe I'm sitting on it. Sorry. I am sitting on it. What does that tell you? I'm sitting on it. I'm sitting on what I'm looking for. Well, there you go. There's the message. Don't be quick to jump at the first chance, because you may have more resources at your disposal. You're literally sitting on them. Okay, so there's something else there. That's a really awesome message. And it's interesting because it leads us in straight to this next, the one that I was looking for. And this is the one that I told you came out. It came up several times. This is one that the book opened up, everything. I was just like, what a trip. Okay, so here it is. And we've had this recently. So it's coming back for repetition because perhaps we're not getting the message. This is Marie Masquerade, glamour, intrigue, drama. Then there's 2 different messages, or several different messages to this. She's very beautiful. She's holding a mask. She's very elegant. Interesting, she has a ship as a pin in her hair. We just saw the ship in the storm. That's us sailing through the ship, on the ship out to sea. It's very intriguing to me that I just recognized that for the first time. And the number 14 comes to 5, which is big changes. Okay, so Marie Masquerade is talking about, first of all, there's a woman, and she's going to come to you. It doesn't mean a woman. It's a situation that's going to come to you, and they're going to be offering you something. You may be tempted to go in this follow after this person or situation or event. Whatever it is, it's something that's intriguing to you. It's something that draws you to it. You find them very glamorous. Whatever it is, something's going to invite you to do something that's very inviting. It's going to be pulling to you. They're going to be very charming. So the temptation to follow after them is going to be very strong. You're going to want to do this. It's either going to be a person, an event, or situation that you're going to be asked to take part in. And because this person is very beautiful and powerful to you, you're very flattered by the invitation that you're going to get. But the truth is, there's a very high price that's going to be paid for your small brush with fame with this very famous, beautiful person. A sacrifice of you that's going to be necessary, and consequences, a lot of them that are hidden from you at this time. It's very tempting, however. So you need to really, really look into this and make sure that this is in your best interest, because it doesn't sound like it's in your best interest. That's one message. Another message is that there's gossip and intrigue around a person that you actually admire, and somebody that you wish to be like in some way. And what they're saying is this person needs a friend. They don't need somebody to admire them. They need a true friend. This comes up at a time when you might feel jealousy or envy, because you feel like somebody's getting something that you deserve. And so they're asking you to check yourself. Focus on your path and what you need to do to create your own path. And let go of the jealousy or the envy that comes up. Another message is that, so we've got 2 messages so far. Now the third message is there may be gossip around someone that you know. And if it could be someone or it could be you. And if the gossip is about you, you can't control what's being said. You can't control what others are saying. And they're saying you just need to live your life and be and truly be true to yourself and your path. You can't control what other people are saying, right? And they're asking you to move through this time period with grace. It also talks about a masquerade. So somebody who's coming and wishing to befriend someone. But it's not that they really truly want to be a friend. And remember, we've gotten this recently, so it's coming back again. So it might be the same situation, a person that's coming back again, or maybe somebody else. But they're not coming to be your friend. They're coming to you because they want to be around you because of your influence, because they feel that they can gain something from you, because there's something. It's in it. It's not. There's nothing in it for you, but there's something in it for them. And so what they're saying is you need true friends, and other people need true friends. So like the first person who there's gossip about, that they're asking for you to be a true friend, and they're asking for you to not get caught up with fair-weathered friends, and don't keep false friends. So recognize when this offer that comes to you, you've already been given a tip. You've been given a tip a couple of weeks ago, and now you're being given a tip again. So pay attention. Don't keep these fair-weather friends, and be true to yourself and your vision and what it is that you feel and what you're being guided to do as correct, not what's fashionable and what other people feel is correct. So basically they're saying they would like you to create your own life path rather than following another. Okay, so that's that message. And then the next message that comes, we've also had recently, is very powerful. This is Kali. I am Kali. From death comes rebirth. And Kali is a Hindu goddess, and she is all about bringing about endings. And of course, we know from endings there's a new birth, a resurrection, which goes along with the animal totem that we just got, that was up in the sky, and it was the California condor, or the vulture, which is again talking about death, rebirth, and a resurrection. And it's interesting because that's exactly what the California condor or the vultures do. They clear up the dead, and they take it away, and they regenerate. They use whatever's there, and it's like a regeneration of what's past. And so this is what Kali does. She's saying that there's a destructive phase in your life going on, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. She's there to cut off ones who are energetically wrapping cords around you, ones which goes along with the person who is like a fair weather friend who's coming to you for something that they need. So she's cutting away all that leech off of you, clearing away anything or anyone that's draining your energy. This would be relationships that don't do anything but keep you stuck. These would be relationships, as I said, that are not true friends. And basically what she's saying is you've called this in, whether you realize it or not. And she's there to help you go through a change in your life, a death, a figurative death that you've possibly been resisting. Not possibly, you have been resisting. A death of something that needs to go in your life. You mustn't stay with this energy any longer is what they're saying. It needs to be cut in order for movement to happen in your life. And the nature of Kali is very, very fierce, so much so that it's a test of your own character and your own strength. Because when she comes, it's brutal. When you ask for Kali to come and cut, I have asked her to come. I have said, close all false doors. And when you ask for that, you need to be prepared to move forward. And if you're asking for it in a job situation, I don't like this job, close all false doors. Make sure you've got something else lined up, or that you say to Spirit, line something else up for me, show me where I am meant to go next, and then shut this door. I truly want this door to be shut. Because once you ask, I'm sorry, I'm so warm. Once you ask Kali for this ending, it comes about very, very swiftly. So if there's something in your life that you're unsure of, someone in your life or a relationship or a situation in your life that you're unsure of, and you ask for Hallie to come, she's saying, you've already asked me to come in. You need to be prepared to let it go. And so if the door's shut, slammed shut on you, you need to walk away. That's what she's saying. So that's her message. And then the final message that we have is something that we got recently as well. So we're getting a lot of confirmation right now. And this is Strange Valentine. And you notice this little girl, and she's looking very trepidatious. Her eyes, look at, she's got almost tears on the brims of her eyes. She's not certain. Her eyebrows are kind of like, you know how your eyebrows get when you're not quite sure what's going on. She's got a heart around her neck, and here is this big monster behind her, and he's got a whole heart as well. He's coming behind her. And what it's telling you is there's someone that you consider dangerous in your life, or different, or not your usual type. You might consider this person dark, when in actuality they're not. It's interesting because a lot of time, love is strange. You think that you know what's good for you, but a lot of the times we don't know what's good for us. Fly. Nice. Persistence. Leave me alone. I should have looked up fly totem before. I know that means persistence, however, because they are so persistent. They don't give up. I also had the ants come marching today, and they're all right on the edge of my nose. Nice for him. They're very persistent. The ants came marching, and it talks about persistence and giving up, not giving up, and it also talks about working as part of a community effort to make something come about. The fly, oh, I'm so annoyed right now. It just flew out of my head. I can't think of it. I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to post that with this message. So with this message, they're talking about love is strange, and they're saying that it doesn't always look the way we think it's going to look. And what they're saying is that at this moment that you've got a great deal of cosmic help around you in the area of your love life. And it's focusing on your love life. And they're saying you're soon going to be receiving good news regarding a relationship. So maybe there's been a relationship issues. But you're going to be getting good news regarding relationships. Also, you're going to be doing a lot of work about healing a lot of long-term old relationships, wounds from the past, especially long-term relationships, which is exactly what, as I started this reading out, I was telling you that I've been doing. Because it had to do with my ex-husband. It had to do with family issues. That was long-term past relationships. Very, very deep wounds from my childhood. So they're doing this, and some of it may not feel great as you're going through it because it's very difficult. It's been really difficult for me, very challenging. And so you're supposed to be giving yourself a little bit of time to allow things to assimilate, kind of all settle in. And like I said, I had that dream last night, and I know that the Anasazi have been coming to me from my past lives. And I know that they're messages, and I don't understand all of it yet. But I will, and I'm going to revisit this with you when those messages become very, very clear. I just do know that they're calling to me. But what they're saying is, even though it may not feel great to you at the time while you're going through difficulties, they want you to absorb the lessons because you're actually moving into a very, very wonderful time of your life, in your romantic life. And it's coming very, very soon. And they're saying that you might be receiving, you will be receiving like a massive surge of emotional energy, and new romantic beginnings. So it's likely that you're going to encounter or bump into somebody who reawakens these long-lost feelings that you haven't felt in a very, very long time. And this person might not be your regular type. So what's strange is what they're saying to you is the differences between you. You look at this. Let me find the card again. Okay. You look at this. Look at these two. He's a big monster, and she's this pretty little princess. And they're saying, don't allow the differences to keep you guys apart, because they're actually what's drawing you together. And she's delicate and pretty and fragile, and he's very strong and he's very protective, and yet they call him gorgeous. But he's what she might have felt was a monster. And I resonate with this in my own life. I understand that. A monster is somebody that you're afraid of, somebody that you have a fear, somebody that you're not comfortable with, and there's a reason. So they're telling you, don't push away what Spirit's drawing to you. What is drawing you to one another are your differences, because you're one half of the other. The yin and the yang, that's what you get. So this is coming very, very soon. And since we've had this message before, and this is confirmation, here we have it again. Now, another message that I wanted to give you was the butterfly, and I don't know where he is right now, but he was an orange butterfly, so I'm glad I grabbed him when he went cruising by. In my dream of the Native American guide, afterwards, I felt this energy, and it was like a button, I said, down below my belly. And it was a hard button. And immediately what came to my mind was my sacral chakra, which is what orange represents, your sacral chakra, which is the chakra, which is your seat of sexuality, sacred sexuality, as well as your sexual energy and your creative energy. It's your seat of creativity. So in my dream, I felt this button, and I said, it's my sacral chakra. And what it was pulsing. And I saw the other half of me, my other half of my soul, my other twin. And I saw his sacral button. And I said, interesting, I feel mine, and it's vibrating. I feel his, it's connecting. So it's telling me all of these are coming together, and the fact that so there's something that's transforming. There's a transformation that's taking place. So why am I telling you guys this? Because we all got the same message, that there's somebody in your life that you're going to connect with. For you, it may not be your twin soul. Only 1% of the population will actually meet their twin soul in the physical. But there may be a soulmate in your life that's coming. There most definitely is a soulmate in your life that's coming to you. And the fact that they were showing me in my dreams the orange was represented by the orange butterfly. Transformation taking place. Go with the flow. Allow things to unfold. You get messages through these readings. I get messages through these readings as well as through my dreams. We get messages through the animal totems. They're not asking us to do anything with that right now. They're asking us to hold on to it because it's coming to us. So be aware, go with the flow lightly, and allow to come to you what is yours. Open your eyes. Don't push away what your soul's been longing for, but allow it to come to you. Don't allow, as they said, the differences between you to keep you apart, but recognize that there's wisdom in having everything not be the same. And I wish I could remember the fly totem. But that's it. So those are our readings. I'd like to show you a little bit of I finally got my fountain running here. And look at the color it is. The color of your sacral chakra. How intriguing. And I've got my Native American, these were my staffs when I was in Sedona hiking. I got my dream catchers up there with the crystals in them. And I've got my Buddha and all of my, this is going to be wrapped in bamboo. This will be prettier. It just feels very peaceful out here. I've got all of my wind chimes on the outside. I can't see them, but I'm going to be able to hear them. I heard them earlier. And hummingbirds will come there when I think I have to drop that hummingbird feeder. And then I've got my other little sacred space. There's all of our rafts where I'm going to go in about 5 minutes. As soon as I finish doing this, I'm going to go float out in the lake, and I'll probably send you guys some more videos from there because I'll probably get more messengers when I was out there. I did get another message I wanted to tell you. I don't know if you guys saw the video of when I was in the lake the other day. A little bird fell out of its nest, and I was almost falling asleep. And first of all, a condor. I was laying back like this, and all of a sudden I felt a shadow. And the next thing I knew, there was a condor right above me. I couldn't believe it. I videotaped it. It was crazy. I guess because I was so peaceful in there that I had this, that they swooped down. So it was a message to me as well: regeneration, rebirth, resurrection. So then after I went out there to try and sleep, and I couldn't sleep because there was so much magic around me. I couldn't get over it. There were dragonflies everywhere. I felt like I was in Peter Pan land. And so finally I thought, okay, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm just going to rest. So I put my head back again, and I have my eyes closed, and all of a sudden I hear this plop in the water. And I look next to me, and there's a baby bird, and it was a bird that came to me while I was out there. There was quite a few of them. They were just nattering away and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And I wrote to my Uncle Phil, and I said, what is this bird? And I sent him a picture of it, and he said, oh, that's a yellow-bellied chat, which is funny because he was chatting the whole time. And I said, oh, very cool. He's been singing at me all day, and he's been, yelling around. And he says, interesting. He says, they're often heard but not seen. And I said, really? Well, they're all around me. And he says, oh, you're very blessed. And I said, yeah, and I've got dragonflies all around me too. And the dragonflies represent holding on to your dreams, going over the waters of your emotions, also transformation. But anyway, so I have all of this happening, and I finally decided after all of this going on that I was just too tired. I needed to rest. Close my eyes, plop in the water, here's this baby bird. It was a baby chat. And I thought, And now I'm going to have to post that too. So along with the fly totem, I'm going to have to post what the warbler, it's a warbler is what it is, the yellow-bellied chat, what its message was. I believe that it was independence. I do believe it was independence. I'll have to look it up and post it. But anyway, what happened was he pops into the water, and I thought, oh my, he was going to drown. He was just a little tiny one. And I was in this raft, and I had to figure out how to scramble out of my raft so that I wouldn't pull him under the water. And there were sharp rocks underneath me, and I was cutting my feet, and I was climbing. And anyway, he swam like crazy. You could have seen his little wings. He swum across the water, the top of the water, but he was having a difficult time. So I didn't want to touch him, because I've heard before that if you touch them, the mother won't come back to them. So I didn't know what to do. I grabbed my plastic baggie that I'll hold my phone in, and I picked him up with that, and I scooped him up into a cup that I found on the shore, and then I took him up on the side of the grass. And he was like trying to get away from me, and I thought, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And I kept saying that, and I thought, stop, you just need to relax. And I was trying to get a hold of Uncle Phil. My phone died, and so I couldn't receive any messages from him. And when I thought, I know I've got to get him into the sun, because he was shaking, and he was cold, and he was wet, and he was so little. And I thought he needs to dry his feathers. So I ushered him up onto the grass, and he was up in the sun. And once he finally got to his position, he started to shake. And I thought, oh my goodness, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die. And then I thought, stop saying that. Stop affirming what you don't want to have happen. So he closed his eyes, and he was shaking. You can see the video on this page. I would encourage you to watch it. And as I was saying, please don't die, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And I thought, yes, you do. Reiki, do some Reiki on him. So I put my hand over him, and I covered him. And he sat there just shaking. It was awful. And I was praying, I was saying, you're going to be okay, you're going to be okay, just calm down, breathe. I'm giving you love. I remember saying, I'm sending you love, I'm sending you love. And I was praying the whole time, please let him be okay, please let him be okay. And as I was looking at him, he had wings that were strong enough that he could almost fly. He just couldn't quite fly. So I held my hand over him, and his eyes were closing, and I thought, oh my goodness. In my head I thought, is he dying? Because you know when they go into shock. But what he was doing, I didn't realize until afterwards. He sat there, and his shaking started to slow, and that was my fear that he was dying or going into shock. And then all of a sudden he jumped, and he pushed back, and I thought, whoa, it's like he felt the energy. And then he kind of scrambled away, and I thought, oh, wow, I mean, and I said, it's going to be okay. And I decided then at that point, I looked over to my right into the brambles, and there was this little tiny sandy beach, and there were brambles all above it. Brambles are, if you don't know, a hedge. It was thorny. And I could see his brothers and sisters all on the branches. They were all sitting in there. So he had tried to take his first flight. He thought he could do it, but he wasn't quite ready, and he landed in the water. So I picked him up. I was wearing this skirt, and I wrapped him in my skirt, and I carried him, and I literally plowed through the brambles, sliced my legs and my feet up, and I went through the brambles, and I went underneath, and I put him down on the little sandy beach. The water won't raise where there is, but there's sand there. Down way underneath, where a cat would have a very difficult time getting to him. And I put him underneath where his brothers and sisters were, and I set him there, and then I got out of there. And when I went back out into the water, I saw his mother or father, I don't know who it was, they flew right down there. So he was okay. I didn't get my message until later, why this all happened. I wrote about it too. And it talks about that because of the yellow-bellied chat meaning independence. It's good to be independent, but sometimes we're too independent. And sometimes we refuse the help that comes to us. And the help that comes to us is there for a reason. We're connected to one another. I talked about all of us light workers coming together. And we talked about jealousy, about ones who may be, there may be some of us who may be envious of others in their position. And they talked about, don't worry about that, just do your own work and make your own way in your own creativity. And I thought about that, and I thought that, there has been some jealousy amongst certain light workers when ones start to become successful. And I said, I find that really odd, because you see in my rose bush there, my torch that I have there, that's what came to mind with me right then. I thought to myself, if you have a torch and it's lit, and you have one that doesn't have a torch lit, but this one has a torch and that one has a torch. If we all go and we light one another's torches, think of the light that we would shed and send out there. Our whole purpose is to teach. Our whole purpose is to help heal this planet. So the jealousy part that we got from the beginning, the Marie Masquerade, not to be envious of another and not to be jealous of one who might be doing, you may see moving up quickly, go to this one and join with this one. and come together, because all of your torches together make a great light, which is why we're doing this. The next message I got was the little bird thought that he was ready to fly. Sometimes we think that we're ready to go, we're going to do it, and we take a flight, and he landed in the water. The water is emotion. So he landed in emotional water. So something that you thought you were ready to do emotionally, you weren't quite ready to do. Or perhaps something that you're trying to do emotionally, you can't do alone. So that was the message from the little warbler, is that he needed my help. He was able to swim across. He was strong enough to get across, but he wasn't strong enough to get up over the wall. He wouldn't have been able to get up around the corner and go down and get to where his brothers were. He needed me to help him. He also needed the Reiki. He needed the energy, the positive energy. So it talks about surrounding yourself with ones of like mind and connecting to the ones that can help you. It also talks about don't push people away when they're trying to help you. Don't push spirit away when it's trying to help you. When things are coming to you, they're coming to you for a reason. They're coming to help you. And sometimes we can't do it all on our own. And often we think we are doing it on our own, and we're never doing it on our own. It's like with me. When I started out this spiritual journey, I literally had everything taken away from me. I lost all my money. I lost all my possessions, literally everything. That's happened 3 different times on this spiritual path. And I finally got into a place, I've worked my way back up, and with Spirit's help, by listening to my guidance, to a place where I finally have my own studio. I went from a 5-bedroom house with a pool and a gated community with a boat and sea-doos. I went from that to living like a gypsy in a room, and I went down even lower. So what I'm saying is, it happened for a reason. It was happening because Spirit was, and they told me why it was happening, when it was happening, that it was to show me that I was not doing this alone. I needed to know that the guidance that if I would follow my guidance, that I would be protected, and that would show me that I wasn't doing it alone, that Spirit was helping me. And so they have. They've brought me to a place where now I've got this, I'm at a beautiful lake house. I live at a beautiful lake house. I have my own studio. It's exactly what I asked for, minus the tub, which means the next thing I'm getting is that. But it also could mean that sometimes you have to have a compromise. Sometimes you're not going to get every single thing that you're asking for. You're going to get what's necessary. So that'll be what I ask for next, but right now this is what I need and this is what I got. So the little bird, he needed my help. So you little birds, me little bird, we need to ask for Spirit to help us, and then we need to be wise enough to accept the help when it comes, not to push it away. And don't feel that you can be an island. Don't feel that you can be a solo act, because none of us are a solo act. We're all connected to one another, such as the light, the torches all lighting one another to light us up so that we can help more people. So the more of us that we connect to, don't isolate yourself. Don't be a hermit. Don't push away when people are coming to you. They're coming to you for a reason. They may be coming to you to help, or they may be coming to you because they need help. So anyway, that was my message that I got from the little bird falling into the water. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't get it until later. So Spirit's basically, through this message, Spirit's just saying, keep your eyes open, pay attention to what comes, pay attention to what happens to you. Listen, hear, smell, pay attention to your dreams. I don't know what that was. I hope it wasn't a little bug. No, it wasn't. It was a little piece of soot. That's interesting. An ash. Ooh, an ash. Rebirth. From death comes new. So don't be afraid of Callie's ending. Let's wrap these things up again. We had, this is kind of a, you know how I do things. You know I'm a little discombobulated when I go about these readings, but it is what it is. And again, I'm sitting on the one card. How funny. No, I'm not. Okay, so the first one. Pay attention to the light that's guiding you to make sure that it's actually guiding you in the direction that you're meant to go. Don't jump at the first opportunity that comes along, because you actually have resources. You don't have to grab the first thing that comes along. And also it's saying, just because something might be challenging doesn't mean that you should drop it and go for something easier because the challenge is too difficult. Those are the messages from that. The next message we got was Maria Masquerade. Don't be befriending ones because you're networking. Don't be envious of ones who have things working that you feel that you wish you had working in your life. Understand that everybody is in a place where they're at because of for a reason. Also, don't be keeping fair-weathered friends. Be a good friend. Don't be a fair-weathered friend to another. Pay attention to the ones that are coming to you. Surround yourself with positive energy. Recognize that you called about Callie for the ending of something in your life. Cords that need to be cut from the past. Energetic ties that need to be done away with once and for all, like I did with my last name. that feels, I can't tell you how liberated I feel. I feel, how funny, I'm not women's lib. I just feel, I feel strong, and I feel like I'm back to who I really, really was. So there's that. And then we have the promise of strange Valentine, of love coming into your life, and recognizing that there's also work that comes first. The work on past-term relationships, long-term relationships that might feel really difficult while you're going through it, but it has to happen. And then the love that's coming to you. And it might be somebody, like I said, that you've been frightened of. It might be somebody that you've thought, I don't know, is this person in my best interest? But they're saying pay attention to your differences. They're there for a reason, and they're coming to you because they are in your highest good. So these are all of our messages. If you want to follow me, my phone's getting really hot. I feel like it's about to, where do I put this? I'm sorry, the light's weird, but it's better over here. So if you want to follow me, I'm on LinkedIn. I am Sherry Lation on LinkedIn. I am Sherry Lation on Google+. I am Sherry Lation on Twitter. I am Sherry Lation on my website, www.thewhispersofangels.com, if you would like a reading or dream analysis, help with dream analysis. And on Facebook, I'm under Sherry Standel with Sherry Lation in brackets, which is annoying, but I've asked Facebook if they would change that, and hopefully they will. If not, it's going to be there for a couple months. And then I've got my Angels Whisper, Sherry Lation. So sorry for the confusion. I just had to get it straight, and I had to make it sure that it was right for me. So, alrighty, thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope that you found some lessons in this and you found this enjoyable. And I'm going to head off to my lake. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday and have a wonderful rest of the week. We will be speaking soon. Blessings.